I had a Taylor Swift fan come after me for my videos speaking about her involvement with the Justin Baldoni Blake Lively case, but I also do a deep dive, 2 of them, on my YouTube, where I talk extensively and I show all the proof, the contracts, photographs, everything you need for how Taylor Swift got to be where she is today. And this Swiftie had the nerve to say nothing of substance, nothing to prove with evidence and photographs and contracts and everything that what I'm saying is not correct. She goes on and says, green is not your color. Green is certainly my color. Have you seen my skin? I have rainbow color everywhere because I'm tattooed from here down. And what's fantastic about that and having blue eyes is that green is very much my color. So I figured I'm just going to keep wearing green just to piss you off. Yeah. And not only that, because green is not my color according to you, I think it would be fair to say that ugly and cyberbullying is not a good color for you either. But let's get into the Gabby Petito thing because everybody's talking about the Gabby Petito thing, okay? We know American Murder did a new documentary. It dropped over a week ago on Netflix. It's 3 episodes. But there was a couple little things in there that were released that the public had not known before. But it wasn't any startling new revelation. This is considered a solved case, like the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case with her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard. It is considered a solved case. It's not an unsolved case. If you don't know, Gabby Petito was born and raised in Blue Point, New York. She and Brian Laundrie actually knew each other because they went to high school together. Turns out he graduated a year before she did. They reconnected after she graduated, which is a year later after he did. They start dating, yada, yada, yada. She works really hard at Taco Bell. She saves the money. She gets the van of her dreams that she wants to use to travel the United States and to do a van life channel on YouTube. That was her dream. She was living out her dream. And at the very young age of 22 years old. So I think that's a fantastic thing. She actually did something that over 95% of humans on planet Earth don't get the circumstances, the opportunity, the privilege, the luxury, the honor of being able to do. And that is to actually pursue your real dream and to make it a reality. Because there's a lot of people who have all of those things that prevent and stop them from being able to do that. But Gabby was able to make that a reality for herself. And her goals and her dreams were within her reach. And she worked hard and she did it. She bought a van. She decided she's going to go on this van life, entire camping experience, van life trip around the United States to see everything, to document all of it, to create a YouTube channel. And that's exactly what she did. But of course, Brian Laundrie, her boyfriend, was with her every step of the way. Now, we all know about the Moab incident where the police officers were called because somebody seen him hitting her. That eyewitness testimony should have been enough to arrest him. But we all know what happened. We saw it. We saw the cam footage from the police. We seen how conflicted they were. We know. They did the right thing by trying to separate them. But the problem was they didn't pick up on signs that they should have. But that's a totally different subject for another day. A whole different video. We also learn about Roberta, Brian's mom, writes him this letter saying, I just want you to remember that I will always love you. And I know you will always love me. You are my boy. Nothing will make me stop loving you. Nothing will or could ever drive us. No mother. What do we do where we go or what we say? We will always love each other. If you're in jail, I will bake a cake with a file in it. If you need to dispose of a body, I will show up with a shovel and garbage bags. Yeah. So people are speculating because clearly she says, burn after reading, and he didn't do that. And so we know that they obviously knew more than what they were willing to give to the other family, to Gabby's family, who treated Brian like a son, like one of their own, who accepted him. And this is how they repay that, by taking the life of their daughter, feeling entitled enough that he could get so angry or so mad or so controlling that he could just take her life. But that's what narcissists do. They feel that they are entitled to that. And they don't see any wrong in that because the world revolves around them. We know that Brian Laundrie, despite the amount of press that was outside of his parents' house in Florida, somehow managed to sneak out with an entire tool, a backpack, supplies to go hiking. Nobody even seen how he slipped out, how he got out, how he was able to do that, unless he went out the back door and through some woods where nobody could catch him. And we all know that he took Gabby's money, he took her cell phone, he took her van after he unalived her and went all the way back home to Florida, where the news and the police were already very much investigating this, very much looking for where's Gabby? Why is her boyfriend and her van here? Why is her money missing? Why is she sending text messages from her phone? But then, boom, nowhere to be found. And that's what started the entire internet craze about where is Gabby, find Gabby Petito. And of course, internet sleuths are credited for helping put that piece together, because they were able, from their footage on their dash cam, was able to pinpoint exactly when, the day, the time that Gabby was likely having her life taken from her. And they were able to very quickly find and recover her remains. And that, we got to remember, is a beautiful, amazing thing with the internet. It's the reach. It has more reach than a regular news station for any one independent city throughout the United States has. It can go viral. It can reach all 330 million American citizens, where the news just doesn't have that capacity. So, of course, Brian goes missing too, and he's in an area where there was severe flooding going on for 3 weeks. And some people speculate that he's still alive and that his parents helped, because the first thing they did was lawyer up, which kind of leads you to believe that, yeah, they knew when Brian showed up with Gabby's van and money and her stuff and no Gabby, they knew. There's no way you could not know that, right? I mean, you don't have to be able to put two and two together to be able to realize there's something not right here with this equation. And of course, Brian Laundrie leaves this. Amazingly, he knows that it needs to be waterproof, and he leaves this note talking about how she was in so much pain she hurt herself, and he took her life as a way to show mercy. And we all know that that's a load of shit. Talks about how much he loved her. Yeah, maybe in his own mind he thought that he loved her. He thought he loved her, but what he was doing was not love. He talks about how much he loves Gabby's siblings, how much he loves her family, and that he's sorry that he did it. No, he wasn't sorry. This is what narcissists do. When they are cornered and they're about to be exposed, or they are exposed, they not only just come out like a good, decent human being and say, hey, I'm sorry, I fucked up. I got really mad, I blacked out, and this was my reaction, or I fucked up, I did this is what happened. Instead of coming forward and just telling the truth and just saying, I have remorse, I feel guilt. No, they don't feel any of that. What they do is they double down, they triple down on the lie, and they come up with other extravagant stories. But this is what they do. We've seen this with Jeffrey Epstein. You know, people that are narcissistic and sociopathic, histrionic, borderline, antisocial, whatever it may be, they end up feeling so much that they are entitled to somebody else's life, to controlling everything around them and their life, everybody else and their life, that when they are exposed or they are cornered, this is their last ditch effort to say, you don't have control. Society doesn't have control. All these news vans outside don't have control. Law enforcement doesn't have control. Not only am I going to deprive you of not knowing what really happened, of not knowing the truth, I'm going to tell you a load of crap, expect you to believe it with my manipulation, and then I'm going to deprive you even further of ever knowing the truth, because I'm going to take my own life. Because you are not going to get me sitting inside of a courtroom having to face justice for what I've done. Nor am I going to sit there. I have control. This is my life. I'm going to take it before you ever have the opportunity to do that. And we see that all the time. We see that all the time. Jeffrey Epstein did the same thing before he ever had to sit in a courtroom and have to face the music for what he did to hundreds of minor girls. This was nothing more than a narcissist asserting his control, his dominance, his entitlement over everybody and saying, ha ha, F you all,